Way too much fun in here.
Always.
You know, we also love Hallmark Channel's new show, Chesapeake Shores. We are obsessed with this show. It's one of my very favorites because Chesapeake is where I grew up on the East Coast. It's full of surprises, love, second chances, family dynamics. And in honor of that show, our very own Chesapeake Shorely Shanny. Shorely Shanny is going to make a Chesapeake Shores inspired wreath. I love this.
Isn't this cool? See, I think the thing that I love about this the most is that this is not only an opportunity to create something that's kind of nautical and fun and beachy, but it also is a way to incorporate seashells, which a lot of people gather over their time on the beach. Oh, you know, it's the end of the summer. Kids may have collected them over time.
We did that. We go on family vacations, and we always found shells.
The best.
And they're by the seashore, is it?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
And Sally, did she sell them? Did
Sally sold the
seashells
by
the seashore?
By the Chesapeake seashore? Something like that.
Are hard.
Yes.
And so these shells are really, not only are they really beautiful, but a lot of times they're really sentimental. So this is a super cool way to incorporate them. And it's actually very easy to do with things that you can find completely at the craft store. Even if you haven't collected seashells, but you do like this vibe, big bags of those are for sale for like $6. A big bag of seashells just in case. But I got started on the beginning of this one this morning. So let's take a look. So there's my materials. You just start with that big foam wreath ring, right? And you put a big dollop of hot glue where you're going to start. And I got a nautical rope. Any kind of nautical rope is going to do, a big, thick, white braided one, or this one that I've got here, which is, you know, a little bit more rustic. And I wrapped it around as tightly as you possibly could. I decided to make that one section and then to use a burlap ribbon on the other section for a little bit of texture. It also helped it because it sped up the process because that ribbon is so nice and thick. When I decided to cut it off, I gave myself about 10 inches and created these little like pleats, just because I thought it would be a nice way to finish it off, a tiny little additional little catching value there, but you don't have to do that. But I just thought, I mean, how easy that is. Look at that. Fold, glue, fold, glue. Yeah, fold, glue, and repeat. So there it is. That's kind of the base of it. And then the next part is taking your shells and applying the glue to your shells. When you're creating the pattern, you just sort of want to look at each one like a little piece of art. So I looked at them, and this is kind of where we came out here. And I looked at them and I thought, okay, well, I love the starfish, so let's separate them. I like the pops of color here and here, so let's separate them. Let's not do big clumps of white. You kind of want to look at each shell and make sure that you're sort of separating them out so that there's some nice variety to look at.
You gave a tip once a while ago. You said lay it all out. Take a picture of it, because when you then take it all off to start gluing, you go, wait, what's wrong?
What did I want to do? That's a really great way to do it if you have a specific design that you want to do and you're not confident enough to just kind of go as you to sort of wing it. That's a great way to do it. This was a little boat that we got our hands on at a craft store, a little boat that I glued on as well, and I'm going to add a little greenery to it. So these are just
a good idea.
Yeah, because I think that it's, this sort of vibe is really pretty, and I think it almost stands out more when you add green, because then you realize the really soft neutral tone because there's a pop of color. And we're going to use our hidden folds right there. Yeah,
I bet you could even get you could get like aquarium plants.
Totally.
Then it would really be like under the sea.
Under the sea.
I love that. Under the sea.
Where it is better. Things are something. Take it from me.
Now we're off track.
I have a beautiful voice, just like Sophie.
You do.
How much would you spend on something like this in total, top to bottom?
So this costs about, $15 to $20 to make a DIY version like we've done here. This one here costs $15 to $20, but we're seeing them right around $50 to $70 for something like this. I'm going to hang this one here, and I do want to show you guys another one. This one's probably not quite dry yet, but we'll let that dry up a little bit. Now, this one over here that I did as well, I just want to talk about for a second. So this was a really big, cool bow, and it would have been too heavy to just do glue. So I took a little bit of that additional twine, and I wrapped it around, what's this thing called?
Nice. What's that called?
The mast.
Mast? Yeah. I wrapped it around the mast.
Very smart, Mom.
Yes. Around, and I also put a little burlap bow. If you get burlap ribbon, it'll have the wire, so you can kind of create really structured shapes out of those. And then the last thing, I'm actually going to pull it off to show you. The last thing is the sides. You want to make sure that you add some shells all along the sides, because it's going to complete the look, because you are going to see it from all different angles, right? When you're walking into a door, if this is hanging in your living room. So you want to make sure that you add all of these to the sides.
This is so clever.
Isn't that so great?
So great.
It's fishing net.
Cool. Yeah, it's
clever.
really fun. So you want to kind of consider all of these little areas as well. And one final tip is, when you're wrapping the base of your wreath with the twine or the ribbon, whatever it is, the more carefully you do it and the more you hide that styrofoam, the less careful you have to be about your shells. What I did was wrap it really haphazardly, and I ended up needing to cover a lot of it with shells, which made it harder. So the better you do in the beginning, then you're kind of more free.
What I loved about collecting shells is because you put it to your ear, you know what you hear?
Dude, the sea.
No, you don't.
Chesapeake
you hear
Shores?
them telling you, here's a clip from this weekend's episode of Chesapeake Shores. That's what it's saying. Check it out.
Has anybody heard from Bree?
Yes, right after you told me that Kevin had called.
Did she say what's going on?
Not a peep, and I did not ask.
Well, since when did you become such a respecter of persons?
Oh, well, sometimes people have things going on in their life they like to keep private. If Bree had wanted me to know,
She's breaking up with Martin. What? She told you that? I just know. I always know. Mm-hmm. Right, just like you knew that I would be so upset about Trace and Lee. Mm-hmm. Is she still here?
Is who, what, where?
Well, maybe they want to keep that private.